Hello viewers, you're welcome to the channel. So in this video I'll be showing you how I attach my zipper neatly to ball gowns. I have a video of how I attach my zipper to ball gowns on this channel, but on that video the only difference is that the front bodies and the lining has been joined together from the front due to the design. So I had to stop by the side so as to let me have two pieces at the back. But in this one it was not joined, so I'll have to take you through the process of attaching the zipper. So let's go right into the video. So right here I already have my fabric joined to the skirt parts, and I have layers of layers. I have the lining, the door face to my net, which is 4 layers. So in total I have 6 layers to be joined. And the first thing I am to do is to match the waist point, the waistline of both of them, and pin them down. So the upper part is open. So from that waist point I will pick each layer. I'm picking the first layer of net, and I will measure down 4 inches from that waistline that I just pinned. I will measure down 4 inches and I will pin it down. From that 4 inches I will stitch downwards. So that 4 inches will be open. Then I will stitch downwards with the seam allowance I left 1 inch, so I'll be stitching downwards with 1 inch. So I will pick the second layer and repeat the same thing. I will measure 4 inches down as well. This 4 inches is just so that the child will be able to go in and out of it freely. So I'll stitch that down too. I have 4 layers of net there. That is exactly what I'll be doing on the 4 layers. Even if I am to have 10 layers, I will stitch each and every one of them separately. I will not join any of them together to stitch. I will pick each layer and stitch them separately. So the door face as well, I am joining the door face separately. Likewise the lining as well. So everything must be stitched separately. I'll go ahead and measure down 4 inches as well from the waistline. Then I will stitch the rest down. So right now I've finished stitching each and every layer of it down. This is the lining, the door face, my first layer of net, second layer, the third layer, and the fourth layer. So all of them are stitched separately, and I'll be using an invisible zipper for it. You can use any zipper you're used to. I'll turn to the front and I'll pick one side of the back. Then I will open up my zip and separate them one side to the other. And I'll flip the zip over like you see me doing and pin down. I am pinning with 1 inch seam allowance. I'll pin another waist point. If it is too bulky, you can go ahead and trim off some excesses so that that place lays flat as necessary. So when I get to the waist, I'll bring in all those layers I stitched down. The 4 layers of net plus door face, that is 5 layers. I'll hold the 5 of them together and pin the zip on it. So I'm counting to make sure that no layer is left out, and I'll pin my zip on it. So I'm still checking my layers to be sure that none of them is missing out. and I will stitch down. I'll turn to the other side and pin as well. I'll pin it the way I pin the other side and I'll stitch it down. So I finished stitching down, and as you can see, it's easy for me to close and open. So I'll bring out the lining. The lining, I have not stitched anything on it. So I'll open it up and bring out the lining, and I'll face right side of the lining to right side of the fabric, just as the way you see me doing. I'll face it, arrange it so well. Then I'll pick up one side of the lining and one side of the main fabric, and I'll use the lining to cover that zip area, and I'll pin down. I'll match the waist point. So the lining is now covering, the zipper is inside in between that lining and the door face. I'll take it down as well, just the way I pinned it earlier. I'll pin the lining as well. So I'll open up that end and position my zipper very well, and I'll pin it as well. Just watch carefully, you will get what I am doing. I'll take my sewing machine and close that up, and then sew. I'll feel it because on this side there is no line. I'll feel the zipper teeth and I'll sew it down. I'll turn to this side as well and pin it, just the way I pinned the other one. Just take your time and pin this down. Then I'll stitch that up. Here there is a line, the initial line I made on the zipper, so I can easily sew on that line or give 1/4 inch away from it. So I've finished sewing on it, and I'll trim off that excess at the top, and I'll go ahead and trim these excesses. You can leave it, but I just want to reduce it to 1/2 inch. You can as well leave 1/2 inch for your zipper allowance if you are drafting, but when you're working with fabric that frays a lot, it's better to leave 1 inch so that at the end of the day you'll be left with something to sew your zipper on. So I've trimmed on this side. I'll turn to the other side as well and trim on it. So just cut off that end and trim off all the excesses. You can leave it if you want, but I normally trim that. So just go ahead and trim all the excesses inside so that there will be no bulkiness at any point. The zip can open and close without stress. So this is how the inside looks. As you can see, it's already looking neat. I'll go ahead and iron, and this is how the back looks. So please, if you derive any value from this video, endeavor to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if not subscribed. Remember to share, to comment, and to like on my videos. Thank you, and see you in my next video. Bye.